They are creating value. They are producing food. And as they expand, they will employ other people. So, Mr. Speaker, I will rest this and give opportunity to my other colleagues to add their voice to it. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, this is an important motion. I want to just add a few words. If we are looking for a better Nigeria, we are looking for the future, for the young ones in terms of involving them in agriculture. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, in my constituency, 60 to 70% of the people are farmers. The young people there, they want to go to farm, but the complaint is always there's no money. The land is exhausted. There's no fertilizer. There's no pesticides. What will they do? Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, if this broad-based agricultural policy is expanded, it is really going to help the youth in this country. Now, my colleague talked about employment. It's not just the employment. It's also bringing peace in our communities. Our communities these days don't have peace because of unemployment. The youth, some of them are involved in so many activities that are not community-based, in terms of drugs, in terms of so many other things. But these things is as a result of unemployment, there's nothing to do. If we involve youth in agriculture, the pride to support what the senior colleague said, there's a pride. This is my company, this is my farm. I'm going to produce something that I'm going to sell for the community to benefit. So I'm urging our colleagues to support this motion. This motion is as important as going to the rig, working in the oil industry. Because when you go there, you work, you toil, you sell at your pace. These are agricultural products. You want to sell, you sell and eat. So there's satisfaction in it. So finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage and also say the government, as it helped in reducing poverty by alleviating, helping out traders, when the young people or the youth are involved in this policy, broad-based policy, it's going to really help in curbing down unemployment and increasing food production and participating or trying to do, working on what we can produce locally in Nigeria. Thank you very much. So, second.
Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Kwamoti Bitrus Lowry, representing Numan Jamsa Lamudi, Federal Constituency from Adamawa State. Mr. Speaker, this is a fundamental motion that if really taken and implemented will give a direction to the country. If we cast our mind back some few years back, after independence or before independence, our economy is based on agri. And I think if the social investment will be channeled through this agri, we will go back to the era where we'll be enjoying boom. I want to create this impression that the youth are afraid to go to farm or they are not interested in agriculture. I don't think that is true. Our youth have one of the most creative minds. But the unfortunate thing is that with years, the government and those running the policies have not given them a direction towards agri for it to be attractive. I know as a fact in my area, if this will be implemented, believe you me, will cut down not only unemployment, but like my colleagues say, restiveness. Most of these youths are ready and willing to set up their businesses. Give them a little direction, give them this incentive, and they will fly. Because mostly now what is required is you have this product, and most of this product is packaging. You package it and it will be very attractive. I believe the government should catch into this special investment program towards tilting it towards agri, and I support this motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Well, I want to commend the sponsors of this motion. It is timely. Particularly so at this period in the economic development of our country. If we must confront the problem of youth unemployment frontally, I think the best way to go is to engage the youth in agricultural production. But let me say that youth agricultural program is not new in this country. I remember in the First Republic, we used to have in the old Western region and part of Eastern region then the farm settlement program. But unfortunately in this country, it's not that we lack ideas, but the problem has always been sustainability for good ideas and good programs. Otherwise, you ask the question, how come that we abandoned the farm settlement program that proved successful in the old Western region, in the First Republic, you know, that the structure then were abandoned and they were allowed to go into waste. Now, if you must address this problem of if you embark on aggressive agricultural youth empowerment program, we will not be solving the problem of youth unemployment alone. We will also be addressing the problem of food security. And the so much talk about diversification of our economy. We have a youthful population, and with almost about 60%, about 60% of our population being belonging to the age group of less than 40 years of age, we are really sitting on a time bomb. And the earlier we address this problem, the better. We have the structure in place. Right now, throughout the country, we have the ADP program. If we can activate the ADP program with the extension program and technical services support, that are contained in all these ADP programs all over the country, I believe that we are ready, we should be ready to go. What is lacking is the political will to do so. And this motion is a wake-up call to the leadership of this country to address this problem of unemployment frontally. I mean, who says agriculture is not profitable? It is not. Along the value chain, we have the poultry. Something I know people that have made their millions in poultry. The fishery is another good area. This animal husbandry and some other areas, and we can develop the value chain along this, in these various areas. So, in supporting this motion, I want to advise that, as suggested in the motion, that we mandate the Committee on Agricultural Production and Services to supervise the National Social Investment Program with a view to creating the opportunity and possibility of engaging some of the 50%, about 50% of the youth population in various agricultural something. This should be made mandatory, and definitely we will achieve a good result if the prayers of this motion are adopted and followed. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Sada Soli Jivia, representing Jivia Federal Constituency from Katsina State. Mr. Speaker, to my understanding, the main objective of this motion is job creation, particularly to target area young people in this country. But then, when we're talking about job creation, this motion is somehow appealing to the federal government. It's an appeal to the federal government to expand its social investment programs. But can the federal government do it alone? The answer is no. As far as job creation in this country is concerned, the federal government cannot do it alone, particularly with respect to agriculture. What are our banks doing? How much? Look at the amount of money that is lying down in our banks, yet they cannot invest in agriculture. All these stories they are doing, they are talking about investment in agriculture is a lie. It's not true. It's the federal government. Even the money they give to farmers, the big-time farmers, with apology to the speaker, how much money goes to these young people? Let the banks, let the government get involved, talk to the banks. The banks should ease their regulations and give this money. These young people, they are ready. We know the young people in this country, they are ready. We have dams, irrigations all over this country, across the country. But access to finance is one of the impediments of job creation, particularly in agricultural sector, because it's so capital intensive. There must be some stimulation of funding through the banks. They have this money, but the government needs to come in, talk to these banks, give the money, and perhaps maybe the government can guarantee. And we should involve the state government and even the local government. So I think the issue here is access to finance is key to agriculture, and the federal government cannot do it alone. What the social investment program and other job creation initiatives by the federal government are not enough if you look at the positive funds that you have in the federal government coffers. But we should involve the government, the banks. There is so much capital, so much money with these banks kept down there, declaring profits every year, and then they don't keep the money. So the issue here is I will encourage the mover of the motion, if we can, I think we can encourage the government to encourage the banks or to force them to open access to finances to these young people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. is Saidu Musa Abdullahi, member representing the people of the Kokacha Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Niger State. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to lend my voice to this all-important motion. It is a matter of necessity for me to really add my voice to this motion because of the area I'm coming from. I am from Nupe land, Niger State, arguably the state that has the richest potentials when you talk of agriculture in the country today. Mr. Speaker, we've made assertions. We have argued that the overwhelming challenge of unemployment as we have it in the country today is to me a matter of choice. Because as a country, we are richly endowed that when we properly manage these potentials of agriculture, the issue of unemployment and other related social challenges will not be as overwhelming as they are today. Mr. Speaker, like one of my honorable colleagues did mention, the equation is not in terms of lack of ideas, but principally, the equation has to do with for us to be able to implement some of these wonderful ideas that we put on ground in order to harness the potentials of not just agriculture but the various sectors of the economy. Mr. Speaker, I think we need to be deliberate in providing solutions to some of these challenges that we have highlighted. And for agriculture, the emphasis has been on the production from the farm place. I beg to add that when we add the agricultural value chain, we tend to appreciate more what we stand to gain in terms of wealth creation and the creation of employment opportunities, not just for our youth, but for our teeming population. Mr. Speaker, I think it's high time for us to be very, very alive to our duties and responsibilities as a country, because as one of the speakers also rightly mentioned, we're sitting on a time bomb when we try to assess the issue of challenges of unemployment as it affects our youth today. When we look across the country, particularly in the north, the challenges that we have today in terms of insecurity and other social vices cannot be disconnected with our inability to engage our youth and our population. So I think it should be about time for us to be very, very alive to our responsibilities and duty as the faces and voices of the people to ensure that the right thing is done in order for us to have seamless and a more peaceful country. Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I add my voice, my support to this motion, and I plead with other honorable colleagues for us to lend our voice and support this motion, because it's going to be for the good of not just a section of the country, but for the whole of the country. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I am Chinyere Igwe. I represent Port Harcourt Federal Constituency of River State. Mr. Speaker, I want to support this motion because of the importance of agriculture and economic development of any nations. If you check all over the world, there is no great country that is not involved in agriculture. Mr. Speaker, the motion, the data presented by the member of the nation shows that trillions of naira have been made through various subsectors in the agricultural sector. Just to put this against the background of economic development, we know that unemployment is one of the greatest problems in developing nations like us. And as we speak, billions of youths are unemployed. And the source for which we can change the scenario, the narratives, is agriculture. For those who care to know, are those who say that oil is living. The question now is, what is the alternative? And that presents the imperatives that we must look into the agricultural sector. The movement have said that let us use our youth. And whether we like it or not, this generation is living. And the future generation must take over. And if we do not leave them with a clear roadmap, I think that they will be more doomed than we are today. That I therefore support the motion that the youth, using the imperative of the social investment program, 500 billion is a good start if properly utilized. One of my colleagues has thought about sustainability. A lot of programs we have earmarked in this country have not been sustained. ADB is almost dead, just like several others. But if properly harnessed, the social investment program using the youth as the engine, I'm sure that we'll get to the next level as it's been proposed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, my dear colleagues, as we support this motion.
Honorable Dean.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I am Engineer Muhammad Ali Udil, and I represent Udil Garmo Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State, Mr. Speaker. I want to support this motion, but when I look at it, as a former chairman of poverty alleviation, which is saddled with responsibility of oversighting social investment program. Like the mover of the motion said, that there's 150 billion naira for conditional cash transfer to the vulnerable school feeding and monthly disbursement of 30,000 to youth on the age of this at training 500,000 university graduates. Look at even his body of the motion. He said that this concept of social investment is to train or is to engage over 500,000 graduates. School feeding is there, conditional cash transfer is there, government enterprises employment program is there, that's cheap. So that 500,000 is a lot of programs in it which is stipulated. Even in the N-Power Train Agro, there's N-Agro, that is for agricultural extension workers, which are sent to various local governments in terms of agri-extension. There's N-Teach, there's N-Health. All this is youth engagement. But when the prayer said, mandate Committee on Agriculture to appraise social investment. There's a committee which I was opportune to chair, which is saddled in this house with responsibility of oversighting social investment program. Why should we say mandate Committee on Agriculture to appraise something that already a committee is working, is saddled with responsibility of oversighting? And when you said 50% to agriculture, already agriculture is included, teachers are included, health is included. But I agree, if and only if the motion will call for another program. You understand? Not the social event, the social is already, the agricultural side is already in the program, and over 500,000 are already engaged. Even the 150 billion he said is more than 150 billion. It's about 500 billion naira for this program of youth engagement. Even the 500 billion naira, I think last year or this year's release is just less than 150 billion. Look at 500,000 youth. When you said 30,000 per month times 500,000, it's about 15 billion naira per month. Multiplied by 12, about 180 billion per annum. And that is only 150 billion. And this money, this is just for the youth of job creation, that is N-Agri, N-Health, and N-Teach. Now, my own, that's why I say I tend to agree with the motion, but with a lot of amendments. That is one, instead of mandating Committee on Agriculture to appraise, we have a committee with this house mandated to look into social investment program. And the last prayer, which he said, also mandate committee to organize public hearing on stakeholders meeting centered on developing a broad-based agricultural program with focus on creation of agricultural clusters in the country as well as youth participation in view of the National Social Intervention Program. Already youth are participating in the National Social. What are we trying to achieve then? So we need to look at this issue so that if the mover of this motion is trying to create another program, which is solely on agriculture, but as far as social investment is concerned, all this youth engagement, because you cannot engage all our youth only in agriculture, you can engage them in teaching, which now most of the states are yearning for teachers. And if you see how states are happy with the teachers that are engaged in this NPOwer program, all of us are living witnesses that they are so happy. When you look at NL, when you look at NAgro, all of this program are engaging youth. So my prayer now is maybe we create another program, or he bring a bill, maybe to come up with either a commission to do with engagement of youth in terms of agriculture. But I think it's high time to look at it, for the mover of the motion to look inward to even understand the National Social Investment Program. That's my submission.
Well, that is, you can write the amendment while we give you the opportunity for that to reply. I don't know. Maybe you can add it up to address the matter as it should be. I so much appreciate their own effort and the contribution of their flow in moving the nation forward towards giving us social security and food security in particular. This will go a long way. And I am aware too, there are other programs that are not quite very popular now in terms of what it should be in terms of benefit to the nation. Like NISAL, which is an arm of federal government, Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigerian Post Office, and the one other agency came along, put up money for the purpose of agricultural production loan. And in that loan, collateral free, you can access up to 10 million naira. This is important for us to know and be aware. The offices for those who want to benefit are all over the nation. All the post offices in the nation, if you go there now, they have such offices for that particular facility. And I think it will go a long way in improving our social security and social security in the nation. I'm concerned about, because in the program what it is talking about, it caters for those who are in the welding and the technology aspect of it too. Those who are in IT field, they are also there. So that we don't stifle what is supposed to be for the country and then improving our nation take home into one channel. That at the end of the day, it will be like we're caging the entire program. I want you to address alongside that aspect, so that the fears will be taken and the emotion will have the necessary effect. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In trying to reply, I share your sentiments, particularly on the new program that you just highlighted. Mr. Speaker, those of us who are farmers are already taking advantage of what you said. I'm already trying to make sure that up to 50 in my area benefit from the water-free single digits profit organized through post office and all whatnot. What we are trying to say is that government, including us, a part of government, should take proactive steps in consciously bringing about agricultural revolution. And I say, the only way we can diversify, the only way we can even survive is to embark on deliberate, well-tailored, broad-based agricultural policy. Mr. Speaker, I say this without fear that we have no agricultural policy in Nigeria. In the past, like my colleague has said, we have farm settlements. Why did they die? In the past, we have something like accelerated food production program. We had Operation Feed the Nation. We had Green Revolution. We had School to Land. They were successful. Mr. Speaker, I may go again to say that, except we consciously cause agricultural revolution, we should enjoy a revolution caused by hunger. We are not saying stop the policy as we have. We are saying there's a platform already we can build on. We are saying that the social investment policy is already platform, but we can channel it properly to cause revolution in agriculture for better yield. Mr. Speaker, oil is no longer doing not the needful. We need to eat. I'll give you an example. We chased Ghanaians away some years ago. They went back home. They sat and they said, what do we do? They developed, first of all, what agricultural policy. Within 2 years, they had food sufficiency. In the next 2 years, they had uninterrupted power supply, one lead to the other. We're only saying here that use the platform you have to increase the need for. Let me give you an example. We also passed a law here that if you're not a qualified teacher, don't teach. It will soon be operational. Therefore, I'm saying, adjust this program, maybe add more money, they're using the same fund. Adjust in a way we'll get a better, efficient result. Mr. Speaker, it is a valuable project of the government now. We like it. We're only saying, how can we use it in the area that is most needful? The social investment program says it will be tailored into education, health, and agriculture. If you want to train health personnel, you have a limited functions in health. If you want a qualified teacher, like we know now, we even see what our graduates now write. According to Professor, they said this distance education will make knowledge distant from them. But agriculture is something we can go in. So what I'm trying to say is harmless. Except there's a study. When you call the stakeholders, so come and look at it. When we say appraise that, we're not saying discard it, but look at it. Which way can we do an adjustment? Except you study a thing, you don't know what it means. So that's why I'm calling, say, let the stakeholders meet. So we can appraise it, add more value to it. I'm not saying discard it. I'm not saying stop other people. That's what I'm just trying to say. Now you've mentioned other existing programs. They're not known, they're not popular, they're very quiet. CBN gives that. So therefore, when we harness all, we'll be able to channel it in a manner and shape that it will benefit us. That's what we are just trying to say in this motion.
Well,
my brother will all appreciate their own contribution, but the issue is this: we do not want to, in the process of now trying to make one other field develop, stifle the other. In agricultural development, I would say there is a program it's called Anchor Bros program. In it, it's hundreds of millions that is given, and that's why Cross River, I believe, have taken advantage of that one. Today, they are among the rice producing states, including tomato, Kebbi State, Ibonyi. Those that I know that have benefited so much. My concern is that the money that is main, if we do not, but I'm not averse to the issue of appraisal. The only thing that it should be done by the appropriate committee in line with our rules. Let the committee on the poverty alleviation, that we have said no motion will go to any other outlook. So also other business should go to the relevant committee. That should be the guiding area. Thank you very much. You still have amendment or contribution. No, he has done his right of reply. Thank you. The amendment. Udil.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My amendment is that mandate committees on poverty alleviation, agricultural services, of broad-based strategy to promote integrated farming in a conducive funding environment that attracts youth participation and reduce unemployment and enhance food food sufficiency. That's my amendment.
Any seconder? Honorable Kabir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Kabir Idris, member representing Kura Madubiga Rumala, Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State. I rise to support the motion heavily moved by the amendment, heavily moved by my elder Honorable Wudul. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader. Sorry. Please, an announcement. Kano State Caucus are kindly invited to meet in room 123 for a very important meeting after sitting. Announcer Honorable Engineer Ali Udim. Leader, move for the adjournment of the House tomorrow 11.
Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, I am Comrade Peter Onyozoje Apatasi, MNI. I represent the great people of Akoko Edo Federal Constituency. I move that this House do adjourn till Wednesday, 6th of November 2018 by 11 a.m. I so move. 2019, sorry.
Deputy Chairman, woman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Barrister Vincent Ekene of Melo, member representing Oyi Ayamelo Federal Constituency of Anambra State. As Mr. Speaker has said, by the grace of God, I am the Deputy Chairman, Federal Minister of Human Affairs and Social Development. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by our leader that this House should adjourn the 6th of November 2019. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable colleagues. I remain Vincent of Melo.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. House stand adjourned tomorrow 11 a.m.